Hello and welcome to Circuit Crust TV. I'm your host Brian Jenkins, and welcome to Arduino tutorial number 7. This time we're going to talk about installing additional Arduino libraries. Now, once you're comfortable with the Arduino software and the IDE, you may want to extend the ability of your Arduino with additional libraries. And libraries are just a collection of code that makes it easy for you to do things like, say, connect to a sensor, a display, etc. For example, the built-in liquid crystal library makes it easy to talk to character LCD displays. Libraries will increase the functionality of your Arduino and the code you write. There are hundreds of additional libraries available on the internet for download, mostly for free at sites like Adafruit and others. And there are some built-in libraries. So the built-in libraries and some of these additional ones that are available are listed in the Arduino reference. And once you get really good, you may even be able to create your own libraries. Now, that's a little bit beyond the scope of this video, so we're not going to talk about that, but just know that you could. To use the additional libraries, you'll need to install them first, and that's what we're going to talk about now. There's really two ways that you're really going to use to install libraries in the Arduino IDE. The first way is by using the library manager. Now, this is pretty easy to do, but there is one little caveat. To use the library manager, you need to be using IDE version 1.8.0 or above. And you can see here I'm running 1.8.5, which at the time of this recording is their latest, so I'm good. If you're not using the latest IDE version, or at least 1.8.0, please update the software. This is probably a good idea anyway to keep it up to date. So we're going to go ahead and open the IDE, which we've already done. We're going to go to Sketch and click it, and then we're going to go to Include Library, and then Manage Libraries. Now, the Library Manager will open, and you'll find a list of libraries that are already built in. Some of these are already installed. And we can see here, we can browse by type with this drop-down menu. We can also search by topic. We have communication, data storage, display, other, etc. And we can also filter our search and type in something. So I'm going to go ahead and type in servo. And here we see a list of servo libraries, quite a few of them. And we can see these two are already installed because we see the install tag right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to install another one. How about this one by Adafruit? We're going to go ahead and click on it. And then here you'll notice there's different versions. It's usually a good idea to install the most up-to-date version. Now, sometimes only one version of the library is available. If the version selection menu here doesn't appear, don't worry, it's normal. So we have the right version selected, click Install, and then boom, we're done. That's really all there is to it. And once it installs, we see here we have an install tag added next to it. And we can also, let's close this, see the library here. And here it is right here. It's been added to the Include Library menu with all the built-in libraries. Now, the second way to install a library in the Arduino IDE is through a zip file. And you'll often find libraries as zip files. Now, the name of the folder is the name of the library. So inside of the zip file, you'll find a couple different types of other files and folders. And I just want to show you real quick what this looks like. Now, normally you wouldn't want to do this, but I have a zip file here. And I've already unzipped it, and out popped this folder. Inside the folder, we see a .cpp, a .h, keywords.txt, and some other things. So again, normally you wouldn't do this, but just for illustration, I wanted to show you guys what is inside of those folders. Okay, so here we are back at the Arduino IDE. And to install, first of all, like I said, to install, do not try to unzip the zip folder. Just leave it alone. So to install the zip library, we're going to go ahead and install one right now. We're going to go back to Sketch, Include Library. Then we're going to go to Add Zip Library. You got to browse to the location next, and I know where it is. Now, I showed you the inside of the keypad library. That one is already installed, but I have this other library here that's a zip file called Stepper for working with stepper motors. So I'm going to select that library and then click Open. And here we see at the bottom, library added to your libraries, check include library menu. So let's go and let's do that. Here's the include library menu. And here we see stepper. Now, those are the two most common approaches to installing libraries. Now, there's also a third way I didn't really tell you about, and this involves manually installing the libraries. Now, this is something you really shouldn't do, or really shouldn't even need to do, actually. So I'm not really going to cover this, but just note that manually installing libraries is another option, but why would you do that when it's so easy to do it the other two ways? So that wraps up tutorial 7, and I hope to see you again in tutorial 8. If you're interested in Arduino and microcontrollers, you'll love how to get started with Arduino in 1 day or less. Get instant access now by clicking the link below in the description.